Let's get into this. LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn. We're talking about the Pro Bowl. And basically, they had a synopsis of the Pro Bowl that wasn't so flattering. Y'all know how I feel about the Pro Bowl right now. And I will continue to discuss the effects of the Pro Bowl and what is left, the shrapnel of the Pro Bowl. What is this? But they had an interesting take on it. It wasn't just about the Pro Bowl festivities, the Pro Bowl game, but more about the athletes participating in the Pro Bowl and what it's meant to the Pro Bowl. Let's listen to LeVar and Brady Quinn talk about, is the Pro Bowl over?
The luster, the clout that's connected to the Pro Bowl is gone. But I think there's a lot of old ways that are dying. I mean, just the way that athletes are, the way that their mentalities are, it's just a very different.
Everyone's friends now.
It's just very different, man.
What is with that? Like
everybody is friends.
Okay, is this like a byproduct of there's so much like hate out there on social media and just in general that like people then have to be more friendly with one another?
I'm gonna tell you what I think it is because I'm watching it happen firsthand. Social media has given people the opportunity to connect with one another first and foremost.
Okay.
And what happens is these guys end up like when we were coming out, it's like, oh, there's Brady Quinn. I see you on a recruiting visit. It's like, oh, what's up, bro? And you get like a couple minutes together. If it's one of them type of trips where they feel really good about it, y'all might be together the entire time and y'all around each other. If not, it's just like, oh, hey, oh, that's LeVar. Oh, that's Brady. Then you go along on your separate ways. These guys become friends on visits. They become friends over offers. And then you'll start seeing them comment like slime or, emojis or we up and da-da-da, this and that. And then you see it all go down. And then when they get an offer, then everybody goes down. And then what I found out is then they start playing video games together. So what we're doing right now and get paid to do, right, put our headphones on, sit here. I had my shoes off. I got my little footstool, right?
Yeah.
Brady, you're standing there. You're feeling good. You got your coffee.
I don't feel good at all.
Okay. And then Jonas is sitting there looking like the Grim Reaper's nephew himself.
That's right.
And we're sitting here chilling. And that's what these dudes are doing all day long. They get home from working out and doing their schoolwork. In fact, I don't know if they even, they probably include doing their schoolwork while they're doing their games. But they are talking to each other. Like this dude is in California, this guy's in Iowa, or this guy is in Ohio, and they're talking.
Right.
They talk to each other. So they become friends. They see them on the 7-on-7 circuits. They
sense.
see each other. So the connectivity is so different in today's culture that by the time these dudes make it to the league, they've been friends since they were doing UA Next camps or doing, Nike camps and all that stuff.
But where's the competition? Like that's the thing is like
it's just different. The competition hits differently.
And I'm not talking like sportsmanship. I'm talking like you lost. It's like I don't want to talk to that guy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be cool, but like.
Well, no, like Tom Brady walks off without shaking somebody's hand, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is bitching about it for 10 years. Like, dude, like he's pissed off. He just lost a game. Like, what are you?
Right.
Like, he's supposed to be thrilled to go shake
I never
your
had
hand?
an issue with that.
I don't either.
Basketball players are the same way. It's just guys are just
Don't get me
more
started
familiar.
now,
They're
man.
just more familiar with one another. Like,
I'll put it this way: the whole Duke North Carolina, because there was a game over the
yep,
weekend.
Yep, there was.
Completely changed.
Yeah, like that was like the rivalry
Right.
amongst some others.
Yeah,
Unrecognizable.
Now you're like there's not even hype around it. The dudes aren't even like cutthroat with each other about it. It's just
Duke plus 4.5. What a
But
waste.
you know what though? But that brings it back to like some of the football rivalries. There is still sometimes some of that, like Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
You get some of
They
that.
get a
some
little
of those,
chippy.
They get chippy.
Yeah, they get a little chippy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that the Pro Bowl is more about bro code now. Like they have a good time with hanging out and turning into what they turn it into, and that's what it is. But it certainly does not give you the feel of the old Pro Bowl. In fact, it makes you wonder, what is the value of being a Pro Bowler? Like they say, this is what leads to you being a Hall of Famer, and it's like to say. I guess it matters to be voted a Pro Bowler, but I feel like the festivities of being a Pro Bowler almost devalues the level of clout that it represents to become a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk through this. All right. So the clout connected to the Pro Bowl is gone. Whatever the Pro Bowl was is not anymore. Well, that's pretty obvious because even back in the days, nobody wanted to play in the Pro Bowl. Now, you got to go back and get your Google search on, go into the library stacks, Dewey Decimal System. But let me say Dan Marino, don't quote me, but a quarterback of that stature did not want to play in a Pro Bowl. Literally walked off in the third quarter. Y'all go do the Google search for me. Walked off in the third quarter. Was like, dog, I'm good. I think it was Troy Aikman. He was like, I'm good. I'm not playing in this game anymore. He had other reasons as well, but obviously he didn't want to be there or he would have finished the game. But even when I went to the Pro Bowl, even guys before me, they all talked about one thing. I'm going to Hawaii for vacation. I was like, oh yeah, how's the game? What? Like it was this measured half speed that nobody wanted to play in. My first snap in the Pro Bowl, I thought 50%, but I was geeked up. Yeah, you might be. I was all hyped up. And then Chris Samuel, he was like, hey, bro, that's your 50%? I remember him saying, he was like, that's your half speed? I was like, yeah. And in my mind, I was saying like, ooh, I must have been going too fast. So I brought it down a notch, right? Because I didn't want him to go 100. Because then we're going to have some problems. It's a real game. Nobody want to play football voluntarily. I told y'all that. Only 2 people who have ever existed on this planet have raised their hand to say, I would like to play football. Dick Butkus, Ray Lewis. Everybody else, all the Bosas, whoever you're going to say, yep, I don't care who you going to say. Yep, what? Who you want to say? Steve Atwater? Yeah. I mean, name them. I mean, beast. So what? Nobody raises their hand to play football. You don't choose football. Football chooses you. After basketball, walk by your ugly ass. Right. You know what I mean? Like baseball was like, and you were like, well, forget you too. You too long anyway, right? Etc. I know what y'all gonna say. Here's the thing. Football ain't for everybody. It ain't for every day because it hurts every way. So I knew this day was coming. I knew they were going to have to get out of playing another game for fun when it ain't no fun playing that game. Like, it hurts. Like, if I'm not getting paid to the fullest, what am I doing out here, right? Ain't no voluntary football, no voluntary mandatory camps. That's why they had to make up that voluntary mandatory camps. Because you better make it mandatory or I ain't showing up. It's all voluntary. So I heard them say that. And then they start getting into the reasons. Everybody is friends. I don't mind that. I hate that old narrative. Like, if you're a friend with somebody, you ain't going to go hard. What? Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas will hug and kiss at pregame on center court and then give each other the business, right? Michael Jordan used to have all them golf tournaments and gambling and whatever the hell else he was up to and give people the business. You think he was just playing with his teammates? Stop playing. Oh, man. So the thing is, I hate how when yesterday people did the same thing they doing today, now we look at today like it's weak. They were weak too, if you want to call it weak. I don't. But they were weak too. They just didn't have the same outlets, channels, platforms, gossipers. Me, they didn't have all that. So guess what? We didn't know all that. Just like you didn't know that your sister or brother was across the street until you got older. And then you're like, that's my brother. You didn't know granddaddy was a lot of people's granddaddies, right? You didn't know all that. You didn't know how many kids grandma really had. Like, what you talking about? You got another kid, grandma? Dog, don't go back. If you go back, you're going to realize you ain't went nowhere. It's the same here. It just looks different. So I didn't like that old school, everybody's friends, so they're not going hard. No, they're not going hard because they playing flag football, fool. You play flag football, you better not go hard. I always tell these kids out there because sometimes they grab the flag extra hard, slam it down, and I look at them, and inside my head, I'm cursing him out. He's 8, so I can't say anything. I'm looking at him like, you soft. In my head, I'm like, man, you soft. Throwing the flag down like you did something. So this is what I say. I say, hey, we're playing flag football here. We're playing flag football here. Like, flag is for a reason. Relax. Just get the flag. You ain't got to do nothing. Don't touch them. Just get the flag. So I ain't like that part. I think that they need to understand that the fraternity that we always talked about, we always be hyping up, is real now. Like, we actually are going to see our frat brothers. What's wrong with that? All this communication, they're all playing games online, talking to each other online, texting each other, etc. Communicating on your page, slime on your page, all that stuff. What's wrong with that? I thought when you went against your brother, you go harder. Make up your mind, y'all. Because I never believe in harder. If you're going 100%, you're going 100%. All you really going to say is, I'm doing extra. And the extra ain't 101%. The extra is, instead of just stopping when the whistle blow, wah, I'm going to hit you to the echo of the whistle. Is that harder? Or is that actually cheating or going extra? Not harder, because you're already going 100%. I never went into a football game not going 100%. But I will say I wasn't always 100% prepared. Didn't have proper rest. Didn't study 3rd and 12. Didn't eat right that week. Got distracted on the phone. Girl, I already left the tickets. You know what I mean? Mama calling me, talking about which way to stadium again, like, etc. So I've always given 100% effort, but what I tell the kids is the preparation is the separation. Did you prepare 100%? Once you're on the field, vroom, vroom, vroom. But how much gas in that tank? That's the conversation. So I'm not mad at this connectivity. It doesn't dissuade competition to me. I don't like when people say that. Like, if I know you, I'm about to whop. If I don't know you, whop. If I do know you, whop, with a little extra hot sauce probably, just because I know you're going to woof, and I don't want to hear it. So the whole Brady Quinn, old school, move on, get off my lawn, man, just adapt and evolve. Stop acting like you can't go hard on somebody you know. If you had to go against LeVar in a talk-off, you ain't going to eat him up. If you had to go against LeVar in a skills challenge, you ain't going to eat him up. You just going to be acting like he a casual? Nah, man. But I do agree with them here. The Pro Bowl's washed. And the players didn't do that. I don't like the fact that we blame the players. Football did that because nobody wants to play football. Nobody trying to play extra football. So once you have that, it's funny, we get so lost in these micro details at times, trying to assess what's really going on and overlooking the most obvious. You have a sport that I will only play if you pay me to the fullest. And even then, I know I'm not going to be able to play at full capacity because I'm going to get hurt as soon as I start. And it hurts mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's damaging. It's like football's beast, and I love it. But I ain't doing none of it if I don't have to, right? So it's just one of those things. It's not a necessary evil, but you know what you got to go through to play football. People don't raise their hand to do that all the time. That's why the Pro Bowl is washed. So what do y'all think of the Pro Bowl right now? I can't lie. I did catch myself watching them. The linemen were running through some like gauntlet, and I caught myself. I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, are you into the Pro Bowl? I was like, no, I'm into the skills challenge thing, whatever they call it. But yeah, it was the Pro Bowl. Has it lost its juice for you? And do you care if these kids are friends? Or you want them to be distant enemies or play it off like they did in the 80s, act like they weren't hanging, but then Magic and Isaiah kicking it and Jordan gambling and kicking it. Like, y'all got a problem with these kids right now? I do not.